Daytime Ottawa. Oh my goodness, we're going to have some fun on today's show. Going to kick off the show by just saying a big thank you to everybody who entered our Amazing Mom Makeover contest. We got so many entries and we appreciated every one of them. I actually read all of the entries and the beautiful things you had to say about your mom. Of course, Mother's Day being yesterday. We did it by random draw, if you're wondering how we chose. I mean, we did read all of them, and so many of them were just so beautiful and so heart-wrenching. And we did do a random draw, and we're going to introduce you to our winner in just a little bit. But we partnered up with two of the best in the entire country to do this makeover. Bruno Racine and Leslie Ann Barrett joining me here on the show. Welcome. Great to have you guys here.
Thanks, great to be here.
Bruno, let's talk about, because you've got a long storied career in this industry, and I just wanted to start off talking about your career to date and how you got started to where you are today.
I was always twists and turns and trying different things. Went to university, Ottawa U, well, actually military. So I did 1 year at the RMC. And it was not my thing. Quite different from now.
Yeah,
and, just did a bachelor's in commerce. And it was not my thing either. Accounting.
Yeah, I did the same.
It's a little bit dry, not very creative. So, and then started doing taxes for hairstylists here in the city.
Really?
And loved it. And I thought it was a great environment to work in. And I went to hair school, and then that was it. So it's been almost 30 years now, and opened a salon on Elgin Street.
Yeah.
I was there for about 20 years, and then McLaren, and then 2 in Toronto. And while working in Toronto, that's how I met LA, working backstage at Toronto Fashion Week, because it used to be sponsored by L'Oreal Professional.
Right.
Yeah. And we met there. And
who's
that crazy woman?
No,
I like
she
her.
She is crazy.
I really like her.
Well, you're both a bit crazy, and that's why I like you both. Absolutely. Yeah. Come on.
No, we just had it off, and we went.
Project Runway. We're working on Project Runway.
Okay.
The top secret.
Second season was filmed here in Ottawa with Iman.
Oh, that's right.
So we were working together for a month. Yeah, that was fun. Actually.
That was really fun. Yeah.
And that was just.
And then you sold those other salons. Is that right? Like before the pandemic?
Yeah, about 10 months before the pandemic, which was a blessing because.
Right.
And just kept Westboro because I really like Westboro.
Oh, it's a great neighborhood, yeah.
And simplified things too because I had 4 salons for 10 years and it was a lot, and hence the boldness. I'm not afraid of showing it. Look, you can see.
Yeah, you should be proud of that. Leslie Ann, how about yourself? How did you get started in makeup?
In makeup?
Yeah.
I started when I was like a teenager. Sort of doing, I did a little bit of modeling as a teenager, and they teach you in dancing and that type of thing. It's part of the discipline. And then I graduated from university and went to dance school and then to New York City and stayed there. Much to my parents' chagrin.
And then when did makeup become your career as an artist?
What happened was I really didn't know what I was doing, and I met somebody who was a rep for a cosmetics company, and I was basically just walking back and forth at Bloomingdale's for hours on end until somebody got sick and said, "Could you fill in and do this?" And I was like, "Sure." And I just started doing makeup, and then next thing you know, I'm doing celebrities and famous people. Got into the Black Book of Stylists, and this was all during the day, and then at night I was doing comedy.
That I am not surprised. You are a funny lady. Are you still doing comedy?
No,
You should be.
No, I know. Looks aren't everything, okay, Derek?
Every day.
What?
Comedy every day.
Every day.
That's true. If you actually go into the salon, you can just get free comedy.
Yes, you can. You could come, or you could come in during COVID and see Bruno and I just trying to do videos from here to there.
Right.
With our distancing and stuff.
To put up on social media, and then him chasing you with the spray tan gun?
The spray tan gun,
yeah.
Yep, that was
good times at the salon for you, too.
It's always good times. It's great times with Bruno Racine, when his motto is "Welcome home."
Yeah.
And it was such a great idea that you guys have for Mother's Day, because who doesn't want to do something nice for their mom?
Absolutely. Which brings us to Kim. Let's bring Kim into this conversation because Kim, you were one of the many people that entered your mom into the contest. Tell us a little bit about your mom, Kim.
Oh, I think my mom is a fabulous lady. She's friendly and outgoing and very warm. and I just thought it would be a great experience for her because it's something that she doesn't do to treat herself.
That's a great gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's gone through some pretty big challenges as well, right, Kim?
Yes, she has, yes.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity too, and this is kind of cool because you showed up and you guys decided to do a little bit of a makeover on Kim as well, right?
She's sitting there, she's like, I don't know, I just have lipstick, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, sit in the chair. So I kind of kidnapped her, and but she's got such a great face, beautiful high cheekbones, big white teeth, giant hazel eyes. I'm like, food, 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 food. Makeup special right here. So I had a really nice time actually putting green eyeshadow on green eyes, going against the rules. Don't write me.
I love. And Kim, so tell me, what was that experience like, especially that you got to do it alongside your mom this morning?
It was a fabulous experience. Bruno and Leslie Ann were absolutely wonderful. They really made us feel comfortable, and we really enjoyed the experience, and I'm really happy to be part of it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Kim, thank you so much.
Thank you to Rogers TV.
Oh, our pleasure. Our pleasure. Thank you so much. We'll have you step back off, and we're going to introduce you to our winner in just a little bit. But I wanted to talk about making someone over. Like the reason that you partnered with us is obviously because you love doing something like this for someone. Just tell us about what the experience is like for somebody like yourself, Bruno, on the other side of doing it.
If I was a client?
No, like from your perspective, being able to do something for somebody.
It's such a joy to see too. Sometimes we take it for granted that they know what they have to do. Like for example, with their hair, with their curls, and it's a comfort zone too. So just to explain to them and show them what really works for them, what suits them. At the end of the day, it's like if you feel good outside, if you look good outside, you feel great inside.
Yeah, no, well said.
And it's insecurities and stuff of wearing something different and just get out of the box and try something else. And of course, it's what suits the person.
Right.
So that's why, like, when they came in today, it was really important to explain, like, look, we can do this. I'm not going to go crazy and just like, oh, let's go for a crop.
We're cutting it off!
Mommy, let's go for a crop cut.
Well, from your perspective, Leslie, I mean, you both do it for a living,
Yes.
I know, but it's something special when it's a contest too, right?
It totally is. And it's like, again, I agree with Bruno, it's comfort. You have to feel comfortable. But then again, you have to be a little bit more aggressive in a way because you want to try to take them from doing what they were doing. Otherwise, it's just paint by numbers.
Right.
It's like, it's the same sort of thing. Would you ever try this? I would never. I'm very uncomfortable. Well, let's try something else then.
Right.
There's always something else to try.
Yeah, I mean, because people get in their comfort zone, but I think that's what you two do really well, is pushing them a little bit out of that comfort zone while still making them feel comfortable, right? Because you're not going to do something absolutely, crazy. And then walk out of there going, because
you have to respect the person's style to begin with, what they're comfortable with, as Bruno said. And these two were so good looking that we were on the phone last night going, yeah, we should cancel.
Well, we're going to introduce you and show you some of the background because we had a camera person go into the salon a little bit earlier, so we'll show you some of that, and then we'll do the big reveal coming up. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. I'm sure the suspense is killing you, but we're not going to reveal it just quite yet because we were in there earlier today. It was just a wonderful atmosphere. If you are looking for a hairstylist and a makeup artist and you want to go and not only look great, but have the time of your life, my camera guy and I absolutely had a blast with Bruno and Leslie Ann this morning. And of course, our two special guests. Asunta is going to come up in just a moment. But we were there with, as I said, my director, Dave. He brought in a camera to take some footage. So I'm going to just ask Dave to roll some of that footage for us. And as it rolls, Bruno, maybe we can talk about sort of, when you saw Asunta, what did you have in mind? Tell me about that sort of conversation that the two of you had.
Well, I wanted to get to know her because I've never met Asunta before. I had an idea with the pictures when you sent them to me. And I was like, wow, okay, she already has great hair. So it was more about polishing and tweaking, and maybe the color was a bit tired.
Okay.
But I don't want to freak her out either,
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
like, oh, here we go. I'm going to crop cut it, and let's go with a pixie cut
Right.
today. It doesn't have to be a huge change, but sometimes just a minor change. It's still in her comfort zone.
Right.
And sometimes just, you take like an inch off long hair, and it makes a huge difference.
Right.
Especially on curls. So we had a good consultation together.
And it wasn't, as you said, it wasn't dramatic, but you did do a color change. So tell me about that color change. What exactly
When
did
I
you
got the
decide
pictures,
on?
just because photos are deceiving sometimes with hair
Right.
coloring especially, so we don't know the intensity of it or whatever. I wasn't sure if she was platinum blonde or gray. Because
Okay.
I do a lot of transformation or the transition with mature women where they go from, I'm ready for the change, and
Right.
go back to natural. And so then I saw that she was actually blonde, but super light blonde. So I just put more dimension in her blonde.
Okay.
So colored her roots. And it's very forgiving because I used very close to platinum blonde, which is close to gray hair,
Right. Okay.
as highlights, and then just the base, a very natural color. So as it grows out, she doesn't have to come to the salon. I shouldn't say that well. Because we love to see her in the salon
Yes,
every
exactly.
4 weeks.
Don't say
But she won't come to the salon. It's low maintenance. So for
Right.
her, that she doesn't, she's probably retired, but doesn't have that time to come to the salon every 6 weeks or 2 months. She comes twice a year, maybe.
Okay.
And just refresh her cut every so many months.
Well, let's do the big reveal. Well, we've got a before photo, so I'll just ask them in the control room to bring up that before photo really quickly here, and we'll have a look. And as you said, she's a beautiful woman, had tons to work with. So there's both Asunta and her daughter Kim. So Asunta, we'll have you come on now and stand beside Leslie Ann here. Hi. So there's the before photo. I mean, you're gorgeous there. Like Bruno said, you had so much to work with. And let's do the big reveal. Asunta joins us in studio here today. So Asunta, tell us, first of all, how did you feel when you found out your daughter entered you into this contest?
Ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. I go, oh, wow, I want me, and I was really happy.
Nice.
Very, very happy. And when I met them, oh my God, Bruno and Leslie, oh my God, wonderful people. Really
Thank you.
nice to work with, and they did an excellent job, and I'm so impressed. I want to tell everybody about them.
Well, please do. That would be
no,
wonderful.
Really, I know a lot of people, and
Yeah.
I felt so good with them, They brought my spirit up.
Nice. What about the experience just this morning and watching everything unfold and to where you are now? What was that like for you?
Well, it was, like I said, it was quite amazing and, exciting.
Just bring your mic up a little bit there.
It was very exciting and amazing, and I was happy. I haven't been feeling this good for quite a while until today, really honest.
Yeah, you've gone through some pretty big challenges
Yes,
over
I
your
went through
lifetime.
cancer, and I survived it, and really happy about that. And
Yeah, well, we're glad to have
Yeah.
you here. That's for
breast
sure.
cancer.
So Bruno had an opportunity to sort of explain, what he decided on. Leslie Ann, tell us about what you decided on here with Asunta. Walk us through that
Asunta,
process.
I think is everybody can see is look at yourself. Look at the camera here. This is a beautiful woman,
Yeah.
a naturally pretty woman with beautiful skin, extremely bright blue eyes, and high cheekbones, which is a rarity, and of course a lovely smile. So I really didn't want to put too heavy of a makeup on Asunta because she has such lovely skin, and not so much powder to keep the skin a little bit glowy. show off the cheekbones with
Yeah.
a nice shimmery cheek. They say, "Oh, we can't. I'm too old for shimmer." I'm like, "No, you're not. You just have to artfully place it." Okay. So there's a beautiful shimmer right
Yeah.
here, and then the brows. And a lot of times with women, they've overplucked their brows at some point in the fashion, evolution of the eyebrows. It's had become a thin line. So we used 3 different things on Asunta's brows to bring back the color. So there's something called a brow fix in this line that has little wee hairs in
What's your
blonde.
line?
It's what?
Your line.
It's yes. Well, yeah. Yes.
It is. Leslie Ann has her own line, which, by the way, you can purchase at Bruno Racine Salon. Yeah.
So yeah, and did that, and also a big problem that women do with their eyebrows sort of start to make a little hook.
Right.
Okay. Either they're really bushy, or instead of like growing this way, they grow this way.
Right.
So we can coax them along a little bit with product, and then we want to get it from corner to corner to show off her bright blue eyes. And the other thing, which is a big thing for a lot of women, is a tight line. A tight line is putting a dark liner underneath the lash line, or the slash line if you're Gen Z. And we have in this line a waterproof pencil.
Okay.
So, which is good with contact lens wearers or people who can't see all that well. Okay, or a shaky hand.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
women putting eyeliner on makes all the difference. But if your hand's like the shaky cam, then it's like, and then it goes, and then it's like,
and then it's course
matching
correction.
it.
Uh-oh.
And it's like, hello, Batman.
Is it on straight?
It's on straight. It's
Is it
like,
on straight?
Yeah.
Just turn
Just
your
lean,
side.
do
It's
this
better. It looks-
into the mirror. It
yeah,
looks fine now.
exactly.
Yeah.
So this is a really easy trick. So we did that, and then added a softer pink lipstick. Asunta was wearing red, like her beautiful nails. I said, yes, you can always wear red, but this thing with a red lipstick, it's like that's your
Yeah.
major. It's a big statement.
I can't thank the 2 of you enough. This has just been such a
Yeah, it
wonderful
was fun.
experience from start to finish. And Asunta, thank you so much, and congratulations. What a beautiful makeover they did. But as we've all said, a beautiful woman to work with in the first place. And to your daughter, Kim, thank you for entering. Your mom, again, thanks to all of you who entered. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Hey, welcome back to the show. Wow, what a great way to start the show. And we continue to talking great things because I mentioned this in my Facebook post this morning talking about today's show. And, a lot of people would consider this business one of the biggest success stories in the region. I'd say it's one of the biggest success stories across the country. Dunrobin Distilleries has done such an amazing job. I'm joined by John and Adam from Dunrobin Distilleries. Welcome, gents. Great to have you here. And I mean that sincerely. Just the growth has been absolutely amazing. Jonathan, I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about Dunrobin Distilleries and its beginnings.
Okay, well, it's an interesting story. We decided, and Adam was one of the original playmakers in the distillery, I would say. I had just retired from the Royal Oaks. I was the CEO at the Royal Oaks, and Adam had worked for the Royal Oaks, and he had met two of the original founders of the distillery, and he mentioned my name, and so I ended up retiring for just one day.
What have you done to him, Adam?
I know. It was, he knows where all the bodies are buried in the industry, so it's
no kidding.
Due course.
Yeah, I mean, this is a business that's very particular, and there's quite a few different ways you can go about it. Just tell me about how you got into it, and compared to wineries and breweries, a distillery is something we didn't see a lot of, Adam, right, in the craft industry.
It wasn't, because it all comes in waves. We saw the wine industry way back in like the late and early 90s. We saw the brewery revolution come in, and it started to dissipate a little bit. But craft and cocktails were coming up.
Right.
And I was in the restaurant industry for about 20 years, bartending, managing, owning, and this was kind of that new thing that no one had started to do yet, but there was that spark that was igniting, coming through. And so we kind of got onto it as one of the first, not the absolute first, but one of the first to do it in the region. And it's been well received. It's nice to have Ottawa kind of own something like that and really kind of bring you with them. Yeah. It's like those ripples in the water that Jonathan, my partner, always kind of talks about. And it's been very humbling how that city could really adopt you into that kind of mentality of being the first to go to and really creating local spirits.
And Jonathan, giving back to the community too. Like I'd have a hard time finding an event that I've been to that you guys aren't at. Is that a big part of what you wanted to do?
Yeah, Derek, it's very important. We believe in being a good corporate citizen. And this event, giving back tastes very good.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. We've been involved with the Taste of Hope since our distillery opened. Very, very, it's a very worthy cause.
Yeah.
The Shepherds do some amazing work. We're very fortunate. Like not everybody has the same breaks as perhaps Adam and myself have had.
Absolutely.
And there's a very fine line between being fortunate and being needing support. And the Shepherds and David and previously, Deirdre at the Shepherds, whenever the phone goes, what can we do? Can we jump in?
Nice.
We are a small company, but you know what? We're an Ottawa company, and Shepherds is a very critical organization.
Small company with big hearts.
We try.
Right? No, I mean it. Every event I go to, there you guys are. Adam, you're going to make something for us here today, right? What are you making? What are you using?
So this is kind of a twist on a just like a really nice gin kind of fizz without the egg white. It's kind of we use. It's really easy to execute in batches, and it's really good for event styles because a lot of the flavoring is held in my shaker cup. Yes, I know, but a lot of the flavor is held pre-mixing for consistency in the simple syrup.
Okay.
So we use elderflower.
Yeah.
We use a 2-to-1 sugar mix, and we use thyme. So you get that earthiness, you get a little bit of those sweet notes, you get that kind of floralness from the elderflower. If you want to take a whiff there.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got some complexity.
That is beautiful, no kidding.
And it's easy to execute, but still elevate at such great galas like, the Shepherd, the Taste of Hope, and several other ones that we've done. So, do you want me to pour, or you want to?
No, you go ahead. You do your thing.
Okay,
You're the
no
pro.
problem.
You're the pro. As he says that, by the way, Taste for Hope is at the Shaw Center coming up this Wednesday. It is over 95% sold out. So literally, you've got a very small chance of getting in. It is a wonderful event. It's a networking event. You get to meet great businesses like Dunrobin Distilleries. You get to enjoy beverages, walk around, socialize, grab a bite to eat from some of the best restaurants in the city. It really is magnificent. So grab those tickets before they sell out. All right, so you've added what here?
So I've added our 2 ounces of our Earl Grey gin, which is that we get the color from the butterfly pea flower. It gives that
is
nice,
gorgeous, yeah.
beautiful color here, so you can see.
Yeah.
You know? And
Very
then
nice.
it's funny because when you add lemon or citrus and change the pH, you notice it change that nice kind of pink tinge to it kind of right away.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like that Harry Potter trick.
That's right.
And then
Very
we add
cool.
an ounce of our simple syrup, our elderflower and thyme infused simple syrup to give those aromatics and some of that sweetness that comes through. We add a little bit of soda.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know, well, a lot of people out in the industry don't know this, but how you get rid of fizz when you're adding soda or carbonated beverages to cocktails is actually you pour it down the spoon.
Really?
So, yeah. So those ripples in the spoon actually act as indicator so that it doesn't.
That is so cool. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's
That
just
is
one of those
amazing.
little things you do when you've spent your life making cocktails.
Yeah. No. So how many products do you have on offer now?
Well, you know what? We have a very varied range.
Yeah.
Not all of them, Derek, are in the LCBO.
Right.
We have our store at the distillery.
Yeah.
And you can get that. But if you go onto the website, you'll get a full explanation on all of our products, from our whiskeys through to our gins, our vodkas, our rums. And we also have some sort of partner brands. We have a Beaver's Dram sherry finish whiskey and a Beaver's Dram port finish whiskey. And we also have an Amaro that we bottle and package for Epoca Distinctive Spirits, which is another Ottawa company.
Okay. I'll have to check. I don't know that one yet.
Yeah.
Again, dunrobindistilleries.com, and make sure you get your tickets. As I said, over 95% sold out. I hope to see you there Wednesday. You'll see these guys as well. We'll be back with more right after this. Those of you that know me well know I'm a sports fan, and my favorite sport, apologies to all Canadians, is football. I grew up a huge football fan. I followed it. I have my favorite CFL team, of course, the Ottawa Red Blacks, Miami Dolphins. And there are so many people that leave a legacy when it comes to sports, and Ed Laverty left a lasting legacy, and his family has continued that legacy, and we're going to talk about his legacy and some exciting things that are happening. I'm joined by Tammy Laverty Hall. Welcome back. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Dee. So good to see you as always.
It's so good to see you. And you know that my dad was also a football fan and played touch football in the league.
I
But
love it.
tell everybody at home about your dad, Tammy.
Yeah, I mean, what's there not to say? You know, he's just a community builder. He ran the Ottawa Nepean Touch Football League for 50 years, and my brother and I now run in our 60th year. And he just left such a legacy, and he loved people. He loved sport.
Yeah.
He loved seeing people learn the sport, right, and people getting something out of it. And he never wanted attention. He was the most humble man there was.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of us now. The kids, who better than his kids to raise him up and put him in the limelight and give him all the accolades that he deserves. And so here we are. You know?
Yeah, and so then you created the Ed Laverty Legacy Fund. Tell
That's
me
right.
about that, and where does the money go? Who does it support?
That's right, yeah. And in 2018, I established the Ed Laverty Legacy Sports Fund, and it benefits youth in sport. So we work with like communities and organizations to empower, encourage youth in sport, especially the ones who can't afford to play. So either equipment or, you know, money towards the facility, whatever it is. The best way we can do is carry on his legacy is to have kids learn that sport he loved, especially if they can't afford it.
Your dad too was a natural athlete, eh? Much like my dad. My dad, it was crazy. He would just pick up anything and be good at it, right?
Yep.
Your dad was great at many sports. I mean, I know his true love was football, but he was that kind of guy, right?
He really was, yeah. I mean, an amazing quarterback. He adopted the overload offense, you know, savvy quarterback, and he took his team to provincial and national championships. He ran 2 marathons. He could golf. He played broomball. He played hockey. So, I mean, he did it all, you know, and so I was raised as an athletic person. I didn't have a choice, you know, much like your dad, who played and excelled at all sports.
Yeah, agreed. We're just looking at some of the footage here of the skills event. That's coming up, the 4th annual. Tell us about this event and why you're so excited about it.
Yeah, we're really proud of it. It's hard to imagine we're on our 4th annual already, you know, and it's in collaboration with the Ottawa Nepean Touch Football League and the Ottawa Red Blacks, and they've been a big supporter of us. Janice Barisi of the OSAC helped me get the non-for-profit established.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, she's fantastic. And so there's 10 skill stations set up. Former pro and amateur coaches on hand from the league and the CFL. Darren Joseph, Ken Rivera has been involved, and they teach the kids all the fundamentals: quarterback stations, footwork, you know, 4-corner box drills, and it's just a great fun day. All the kids get an Ed Laverty Legacy T-shirt, a sports bag, wild popcorn. Familiar Faces does the medals. There's music. The sponsorship's incredible. I mean, Royal LePage to Mortgage Brokers Ottawa, Virtual Roots. The list goes on. It's a full team effort to make this happen, but it's a great day. And to see all the kids with my dad's image on their shirts playing this game that he loved, what better way to channel and carry on his legacy and channel the grief into something good?
Every time I see that logo, it just makes me smile. You know, it's like seeing, for me, like as a local person, it's like seeing the NBA Jerry West logo. You
exactly.
Know? Like,
it's so
people
epic,
starting
right?
to recognize it,
yes,
right?
With
There's
the
Ed.
league. Yeah, and it was Chad Presso. He's a longtime player of the league, too, and he does graphic design, and he did that. Yeah, I think you probably remember Chad, or your dad did.
Yeah.
And, you know, to see all the kids with it, it's just incredible. So it's a really fun, jam-packed day. Lots of people giving up their time for the kids to learn, and they all walk away. They get some pizza. Beaver Tails is on board now, so they're all going to get a beaver tail.
Amazing.
And they walk away hopefully learning the skills that my dad loved, and, you know, feeling good about being able to help a kid who can't afford to play.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the mantra, and that's what we want to do.
Tell me, what's the age range?
It's between 6 and 18.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Female and male, they can come out and enjoy it. And there's the heyday shot of my.
There's the shot.
We wondered for years who that rusher was, and finally a good friend of ours, Brent Rennick, told me, and I forgot his name now, but he's infamous now. That picture's been around forever.
I have to tell you this, a little bit of a personal story from earlier today. My director, Dave Davies, played against your father.
Okay.
And he described your dad, though. He was like, oh, I was young, and the rest of my team were young, and they saw, your dad. He's a little bit older, right?
Yes,
and they're like, oh, I got this guy, right? Your dad's the quarterback. He ran circles around them.
It happened to my husband too.
Oh
yes.
ran circles around him. He was one of those guys that wasn't necessarily, a sprinter, but his ability to change direction.
Oh, yes.
Right, and to spin out, and I mean, just
he was very shifty and tricky, and my brother's a great quarterback that way too.
Oh,
and maybe
yeah?
James Duffy of TSN, who played his
Right.
tribute at Dad's Celebration of Life, said he couldn't catch him. You're screaming and yelling like a bunch of babies on the field, because you couldn't catch him, and then he would stop and smile, and he goes, "Want me to show you how I did that?"
Nice, I love it. Some other incredible news: your dad is being inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. It almost chokes me up to hear that.
Totally, I can get choked up now. I'm going to get choked up just thinking about it. We can't ask for
recognition.
The prestigious induction of, having his legacy stamped in such an indelible way in the CFL history is just everything. And we got the call unexpectedly because we put the submission in 2019, and we got a call out of the blue. And Gregory, his name is Gregory Dick. He's the CFO of the CFL Hall of Fame. Called Rodney Moore, who runs NCAFA, and said, "I need Tammy's number." And Ed's resurfaced. He never went out of the role, but he said they want to start acknowledging more grassroots community builders.
Wow.
How special is that? And my dad would love nothing more. So they are taking care of our travel accommodations. We're heading down to Hamilton in September for the induction ceremony and the CFL Hall of Fame game to represent my father.
That gives me chills.
It's amazing. So between that and carrying on the Ottawa Nepean Touch Football League in my dad's memory, where we offer still touch football for women, men, and co-ed, we're in our 60th year, so come play.
Come play.
We love it. So we're very proud of him, and we're very grateful for everyone who helps us support his legacy from years past to today.
To sign up for the skills event, just head to the website, edlavertylegacy.com.
That's right. Under news and events, the registration link's there. We're only open up for another 2 more weeks, and then we got to shut her down for T-shirts and stuff. So we're looking forward to it. Yeah.
I'm going for a pass.
Let's go. Ready to go?
We'll be back with more out of this.
Woohoo! Yahoo! Touchdown.
Welcome back to the show. Well, the month of April was Parkinson Awareness Month, and there's no reason we have to stop the conversation just because the month of April has gone by, because awareness is incredibly important. They've got their big super walk also that's coming up in September. I am joined by Ambassador with Parkinson Canada, Brock Carlton. Welcome back. Great to have you here, Brock.
We really appreciate your interest in this.
It's my pleasure, and I wanted to get you on in the month of April, but as schedules were, and I said, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, this conversation should absolutely continue. Let's talk about your personal story and take me back to your diagnosis with Parkinson's.
So I was originally diagnosed in 2018 with essential tremor, which is similar to, it presents in a way similar to Parkinson's, but it's not a progressive disease. So I went through most of COVID, and then I went to see the neurologist because I was having some change in my walk.
Okay.
And she did a few tests, and she said, I think I made a mistake. This is Parkinson's, not essential tremor, which is, at one level, it's a game changer. But in terms of the day-to-day, it's just like, okay, the next day, the day after the diagnosis, my life hasn't changed completely. It's just all of a sudden I have a different trajectory for the longer term.
So was that the main symptom? Was this tremor that you had?
Yeah, the tremor. And I had a bit of a challenge walking normally, but that's been resolved with exercise. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that because that's incredibly important for somebody that is living with Parkinson's. Tell me why exercise is so important, Brock.
Because Parkinson's is all about a loss of dopamine to the body, and dopamine is the chemical, I guess you'd call it, that greases the wheels. It keeps everything operating smoothly. So without the dopamine, you just become very rigid, and your back gets tight, and your muscles are weaker, and your walk is not so strong, your balance is off. So everyone's with Parkinson's is on levodopa of some kind, which is a dopamine replacement.
Okay.
But then the exercise, what you're trying to do is exercise large muscle groups across different parts of your body. So as I think we've talked about before, I do boxing 3 mornings a week, and that's all about coordinating your core with your shoulders, with your arms, and kind of getting smooth motion across those different muscle groups, and keeping those muscle groups able to coordinate across different kinds of exercise. So like I cross-country ski a lot in the winter. That's a beautiful exercise for Parkinson's because it requires coordination and strength and balance. And
does it help? I'm not sure. Does it help stave off the disease to some degree?
They say it helps slow down the symptoms.
It does. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it allows you to live a certain quality of life that, for me, is really important. As we were talking about earlier, my wife and I just spent 5 weeks in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And it was a really adventuresome holiday. We were 4 days paddling on a whitewater river, paddling canoe.
Nice.
We were hiking several hikes in the coastline in the mountains, and we were biking. Derek, we went on this one cycle where it was 42 kilometers along the shoreline of a lake, and at one point, the shoreline became a rock face. So the bike path was a wooden platform bolted into the rock face.
Really? Oh my
So you're cycling, and your right shoulder is kind of bunching, hitting up against the rock face, and your left side, you're looking over a barrier to the lake.
Wow.
Anyway.
I'm afraid of heights, so just you describing it, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I could do something like that. Do we know, Brock, what causes Parkinson?
No, there's some speculation that it's related to pesticides.
Oh, really?
But there's no hard, fast truth to that, and only about 15% of the people have Parkinson's or have it hereditary through the genes. So there's no test that tells you you've got Parkinson's.
Right.
So it depends on you articulating your symptoms to a neurologist who interprets your symptoms in a certain way, and you come up with a diagnosis. And then you just tinker around with different medications to see what works and what doesn't.
That's it. And treatments, are there a number of different types of treatments available? Like, where are we at as far as the research goes with that?
Yeah, there's everyone's on levodopa, some kind of levodopa, and that's the dopamine replacement. And then there are other meds for symptoms. So I have a medication for my tremor, which isn't really working. So you just kind of hit and miss. And so there's evolutions and changes in the sophistication of the medications. Like there's a levodopa now has a slow release
mechanism.
Mechanism.
Right.
That so if you're going to, because a lot of people have a really hard getting up in the morning because their meds have worn off over the night. So if you take slow release levodopa over the night, then you get a more consistent dose, and you're less you're less debilitated when you get up in the morning.
Right.
But it's all about the levodopa. That's pretty much it.
Parkinson Canada, did you immediately reach out to them? Like, were they a great resource right off the bat for yourself?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They were, and so I'm always talking about Parkinson's Canada as the go-to place.
Right.
You know, and they have lots of information and knowledge. They've got a book called Every Victory Counts, which is kind of like the owner's manual for Parkinson's. So you get an owner's manual when you buy a fridge. Parkinson's, you get Parkinson's.
You get a Parkinson owner's manual.
Yeah.
Right.
And it walks you through all of the potential symptoms, the potential causes of those symptoms, the potential medications, and it talks a lot about exercise.
I guess peer support, is that part of what
Yeah,
they do as well?
there are support groups around the city. So I go to one at the Emerald Plaza up on Maryville.
Okay.
They meet once a month, and they bring in pharmacists, or just we talk amongst ourselves about what our symptoms are. And you sit there, you think, okay, this is me now, but am I going to be like that guy or that woman? Like, you just have no idea what your future is.
Yeah, because it's quite individual, right?
Yeah,
and not everybody's going to have the same challenges or even the same symptoms, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are people who sit in that room who have no tremor whatsoever, but they've got other issues, other physical issues or mental, psychological issues.
September 7th, right? The big super walk is coming up at Britannia Beach. That kicks off, I think, registrations at 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m.?
9 a.m. The program starts at 10.
Okay.
But registration can start now. You can start donating now.
Excellent. And that we'll try to get you back as we get closer to that, because what a great walk it was last year, right?
It was great.
It was incredible.
We donated the most money in the country to Parkinson's Canada. We had $230,000 raised for the super walk, and so we were the largest super walk and the largest contributor to Parkinson's Canada through the dollars that we raised.
Way to go, Ottawa.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Brock, thank you so much. Real pleasure seeing you again.
Well, it's great to see you, Derek.
You can visit the website, as Brock said, to register, because you can start now, build a team. You can join as an individual as well. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. My next guest and I were just joking that her business name, it should be a sitcom. It's Leave It to Rita. Well, Rita joins me here. Rita Casasanta, she is the owner of Leave It to Rita. Welcome.
Yes,
Great to
thank
have
you
you here.
very
We
much.
were going down memory lane talking about some of our favorite sitcoms, and
Yes.
that just reminded me your name, that
Yep.
it just sounds like that. But before we get into the business itself, tell me a little bit about yourself and your background, Rita.
Yes, well, I'm originally from northwestern Ontario,
Okay.
and I moved here to Ottawa to go to Algonquin, study hotel and restaurant management many moons ago. And I've been in the hotel industry for about 35 plus years.
Really, eh?
Yes, and up until COVID.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like many people, I lost my job of 27 years at a local hotel.
Okay.
So the last thing I was doing there was as a conference service coordinator. So yes, it was.
So yeah, I mean the hospitality industry
Yeah.
in general really hit hard. You know,
Yeah.
tourism. I mean, boy,
Yes.
we could go on and on
Yes.
about quite a few different industries. So at that point, you've lost your job. You know, you and I are the same age, and
Mm-hmm. Yep.
then what's going through your mind?
Well, yeah, I just took some time off. I went and visited my mom in northwestern Ontario because she was alone, and just because we weren't sure if the hotel was going to open back up or what was
Right.
going on. We were laid off and so on. And then when we were officially, there's no job for you, I decided that I wanted, something I always wanted to do was have my own business, and why not use my skills of 35 plus years, from housekeeping to banquets to front desk to, life experience.
Oh yeah, you've learned a ton of skills,
Exactly,
and just people skills
Exactly,
too, right?
Yeah. So I thought, why not do something that I really enjoy, helping people and doing different things. And,
Yeah, well, let's talk about those things.
Sure.
So you come up with this idea.
Yes.
You and your sister figure out Leave It to Rita is a great name. And so what services do you offer to people?
I offer a variety of services. I offer in-home tidying, and what that is a lot of clients have a cleaner, but what I do is come in between. So I don't do a full clean, but I tidy and then maintain the home.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's always, ready to go.
In tip-top shape.
Tip-top
Yeah.
shape, yes. Meal prep, online research, data entry, organizing, decluttering. So home and lifestyle, making dinner reservations.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and I recently added senior support, which is very important to me, especially the companionship part. So I offer companionship and conversation, of course, and some light housekeeping, can help them with basic technology, email, and just a lot of different things to, that a senior can age
Right.
in their home, or if not, in a senior facility.
Yeah, of course.
So it's, I just reading yesterday on Statistics Canada that we're very lonely population, especially since COVID.
Yeah.
And women more than men for various reasons. So it's just very dear to my heart, and something that I've been wanting to do.
It's
Yeah.
incredibly important. I'm glad you
Yeah.
bring up that loneliness, because I recall that the UK, I believe Britain itself, came up with, was the first country to come up with a minister of loneliness.
Yes.
Because it was
Yes.
such an epidemic.
Exactly.
More than 10% of their population, and I'm sure that's worldwide,
Yes.
if not more than 10%, but a little bit over 10% felt isolated.
Yep.
And lonely.
Yep.
And that is a horrible place to find
Yes.
yourself in, right?
Yes. Yep.
With so many other challenges in life. So, seniors actually was the first thing that really came to my mind as your typical client. But what are some of your other typical types of clients that you work with?
Yes,
Rita?
busy families, seniors, and then families that are caring for seniors. So a couple instances as I work with a lovely lady who's a single mom, 2 kids, works from home, and one child is chronically ill. So
Okay.
you can imagine how busy and overwhelming life can be. So 3 hours a week, I help her with grocery shopping and put everything away when I get back to her place, and then tidy up. And then she recently moved, and so I helped her find a mover
Excellent.
from the Ladies Who Lunch.
Oh, wonderful.
Group. So
Shout out to Catherine
yeah,
Landry.
exactly. Great resource. And they did the move, packed up, and then we unpacked, and we put our kitchen together, our basement together, and I've called Service Canada, Bell Canada for her, picked up prescriptions, so just,
some of those everyday things
exactly.
that somebody that's busy and
Exactly.
finds themselves in a position, perhaps you have a child with special needs or a
Yes.
chronic illness.
Yes.
Very quickly, I've got about 60 seconds left.
Sure.
You give back to the community as well. That's a big part of what you do.
It was very important when I started the business that I wanted to give back, have a component to the business. So what I try and do a few times a year is help those that are, in need. One lady I helped recently, she lost hours in her job, so there was less income. She had a special needs child, and she was just feeling overwhelmed at home, buried under housework.
Right.
So we just went in and organized, decluttered, did some cleaning, and now it's at a point where it's manageable.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah.
Good for you.
And
That's a great example, right,
Yes,
of how
yes.
something, you don't think it sounds like a big deal, but it really is.
Yes.
Rita, real pleasure meeting you.
Thank
you so
you.
much for joining
Same
me.
here.
Hey, if you want to get in touch with the sitcom, leave it to Rita. No, it's not a sitcom. She does great work.
Some days.
Yes, there you go. Companionship. Leave it to Rita.ca is the place to go. We'll be back with more right after this. Oh boy, what a great show. I can't thank everyone enough for helping put this amazing mom makeover contest together, and there's people behind the scenes as well that put in so much effort. So a big thanks to all of you who participated to make this such a special thing. Big thanks, of course, goes out to Bruno Racine Salon. You can find out more information about him and his great work at brunoracine.ca. You can visit labarrett.com as well to find out more about Leslie Ann as a makeup artist. If you're looking for two of the best, as I said, they've worked with some of the top celebrities in North America, and they're just so genuine. His salon, by the way, located just down the street from Rogers TV here at 236 Richmond Road. So be sure to check them out. Taste for Hope, I mentioned, over 95% sold out. It's happening this Wednesday, May 15th. The main event at 6 p.m. The VIP is completely sold out. But if you head to Taste for Hope, sgh.ca, you can get one of those last few tickets. Big thanks to Jonathan and Adam as well from Dunrobin Distilleries. You can find them there. And Algonquin Sportsfield, June 9th for the 4th annual Ed Laverty Legacy Skills event. I hope to see you tomorrow. We'll do this again. Thanks for watching.